Hey, what's happening? What's good, y'all? It's your man D Real, and edutainment is what I do live. Okay, it's Thursday, and we doing a live. So, got a few topics I wanted to chop it up with y'all about. Um, whether it's live or whether y'all see it on the playback, it seems like currently I'm getting more feedback from you guys on the playback than I am actually live. But long as y'all giving feedback, I'm good with it. Okay. First on the list, I won't be before you long. Usually, when I say I won't be before you long, I end up being before you for a long time. Anywho's though, this is supposed to be a bobblehead of me. That does not look like me. Okay. This is what happens when you think you're getting something from a stateside source, and and you come to find out that that is from China somewheres. Uh I don't know. They had pictures. I don't know what pictures they had. I might throw a stand up back here, some shelves back here, so I could put some stuff up there and beautify that area a little more. But nah, bruh, that don't look like me. That don't look nothing. Maybe we'll just call that T'Chaka. How about that? That'll be T'Chaka. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause John Connie, he kind of looks like that. Anywho, speaking of Black Panther stuff, as well as Marvel, there are delays. There are delays. There are delays. There are delays. Now, the question I'm asking actually is kind of twofold, and it's like this: are these delays occurring in an attempt to backtrack and make better feature films? Or is it a delay where they're like, oh my God, this is such a crap show and we don't know how it's going to turn out. So we need to back up, regroup, get a grip, and come at this a different way. Hmm. Might be the latter. I mean, that's just me. I feel like, well, y'all already know I'm kind of biased anyway because I'm gonna be talking about, recast T'Challa and say, maybe the tiny blows that are coming from the recast are actually starting to have an actual effect. Well, looky there. Like I said, and like I've been saying in all of my videos, united voices are louder voices. And if we just keep talking about this thing and keep talking about this thing and keep talking about this thing and coming together to talk about it, we're going to get a different result. I guarantee we're going to get a different result. So don't be weary and well doing, y'all. Keep on, you know, tugging and tagging at him for this recast T'Challa thing. Now I understand there's a couple of more movies, Doctor Strange, that's been pushed back. Other than Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? Basically, stuff that was going to come out in 22 and 23 has been pushed back to further dates. Like Wakanda Forever has been pushed back to November. Hooray! Can you push it back any further? Can you push it back any further? How about how about you push it back to 2025? That might make for better entertainment. But I don't know. It just seems, is it just me, or does it seem like Marvel movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of suffering in quality? Because I've seen, like usually when you see a full trailer, like you've seen full trailers to Spider-Man and you've seen full trailers to Eternals, that's usually enough to get you hyped to say, yeah, I'm going to be there. Now, I've watched the Eternals preview and I've watched the Spider-Man No Way Home previews, and I'm like, I still don't see what I need to see to make me hyped about this movie. And my general consensus overall has been is lackluster. I mean, just to be brutally honest, it's lackluster. Um, what preview of what movie have you guys seen that's got you hyped to throw on a mask or turn on HBO or Disney or whatever and pay money to see it? Anything? Does Eternals have you hyped like that? Does Spider-Man have you hyped like that? Thor, Black Panther, Doctor Strange? Do any of the movies have you hyped like that to where you like, yeah, 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 I can't wait to see it? Thus far, at this point, and not just because of, Black Panther, I haven't been overly excited about movies. And now I'm at a point now where I'm like, if it isn't for like video purposes or a spoiler free or a spoiler filled review, I'm not really, I'm just taking it with a grain of salt, like anything else. And honestly, I feel like that's how everybody should take it. I understand getting excited for feature films and all of that kind of thing, but Marvel Studios seems like they're catering to themselves and not the fans. Is it me? Am I, out of touch? Am I out of step? Am I out of date? But it just seems like they're putting out what they think fans will enjoy versus what they'd actually enjoy. Example, if I'm watching a Doctor Strange movie, okay? See, I didn't pick the one you thought I was going to pick. If I'm watching a Doctor Strange movie, there's got to be magic. There's got to be mysticism. That has to be in the movie. Otherwise, what is there to attract me to a Doctor Strange movie? The Eternals is sort of Marvel's foray into focus on otherworldly beings. Well, not otherworldly, they come from Earth technically, but otherworldly situations taking place on Earth. That's kind of what a superhero movie is anyway. But I feel like Eternals takes it to the next step. But what have I seen? Oh, Theo's in the building. What's happening, brother Theo? Good to see you. Always good to see you. But like I was saying, what is there in the Eternals movie? Where's the allure? I get it. You got the guys from Game of Thrones. You've got Selma Hayek. You've got Angelina Jolie. Okay, you got brand names. What else you got? And it seems like there's a lot of reference to the previous Marvel characters, which is cool. But what else do the Eternals bring to the table? I mean, when they came out way back in 1976, it was kind of like, okay, that's a cool concept. It's a Jack Kirby type thing, and well, not Jack Kirby type thing. It is a Jack Kirby thing, but I'd rather read an Eternals comic book. I mean, to be quite honest, I don't see anything in that preview. I don't see anything in those characters that makes me go, yeah, I want to go see that. So, in that aspect, Marvel, you may very well be failing at maintaining an audience. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Theo, what do you think? Well, I know your opinion as far as Marvel movies is concerned, but do you think that they are not paying attention to what they should be paying attention to in terms of what fans want and what fans don't want? And I'm not just talking about T'Challa. it's it's confusing to me. It's like, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to make quality movies, or are they trying to appeal to a demographic? Because you can do both, but if you focus on one, it makes the other suffer. Great script. As always, all good movies, all movies worth seeing start with a great script. But they also, what I've learned too, marketing helps if it's a good script, because Black Widow was a sucky ass movie. I'm gonna just put it out there. It sucked. That's 2 hours of my life I ain't never gonna get back. And I knew it was gonna be like that. But I'm just like with comic books, you can't go and buy a comic book and then have like a storyline dangling and not get that next issue to close off that storyline so that you'll, resolve those dangling issues. Somebody's standing over the hero with an axe, getting ready to split him in half. Oh, tune in next month. So for me, that's what Black Widow was. It was just kind of a closure thing. And it was terrible closure at that. So good movies, or I guess what I was getting at, the marketing. The marketing for Black Widow was great. It was vicious. It's amazing. Um, who knows about the Eternals? Nobody. Just like nobody knew about Guardians of the Galaxy. So you could take that in whatever direction you wanted to take it in. Not even start off with the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Just kind of, go ahead. Yeah, you're right. I mean, technically, as they've shown us, you can do that with any character, even whether they're established or not, because clearly they decided to go in another direction with, in terms of updating. Um, they update characters' origins, they update character stories, or in some cases, just change it all together. That's a direct cater to casuals, in my opinion. The casuals don't know, like you said, what an Eternal is. So an Eternal becomes what I put on the screen. And a trend that's been happening since, they started making superhero movies, even as far back as 2000, the character in the comic books ends up becoming the character in the movies. And all the canon that came behind that character and all of that information that made that character what it was just falls to the wayside, and the movie version of that character becomes canon. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It goes back to like one of the videos that I did here recently, where I was saying that the book is always better than the movie. So when you take from that source material and just say this new version is canon, what is that? You know what I'm saying? That's an attempt, obviously, what we've been fighting against, with this recast T'Challa thing, to just flip the paradigm totally and say, this is, and everything that came before, do what you want to do with it, boss. We don't care. It just becomes that kind of thing. Good adaptions or adaptions of characters or shows can be a good thing too. For instance, Young Justice. I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to Young Justice, but um, Young Justice is a really good show. Basically, it's just I wouldn't necessarily call it Teen Titans, um, but it's legacy heroes. There we go. That's a good way to describe it. Brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, whatever of mainstream superheroes like your Supermans, Batmans, Martian Manhunter, Flash, all of those characters, like their relatives or their proteges or their mentors, have all come together to form their own little Justice League Junior. I guess that's the best way to describe it. But anyway, it off and on, it had a little run in the mid 2010s, and they've come back with season 4, and it's showing on HBO Max right now. Good so far. Basically, without giving away too much of the plot, it's focusing around Mars. A lot of it, at least the first 3 episodes, appear to be focusing around Mars. Miss Martian's character and Superboy's character are getting married. And they go to Mars along with the Martian Manhunter to do the Martian ceremony of getting married. And then they're going to come back to Earth and have like a regular Earth wedding. But it seems like they're coming to Mars in the middle of a lot of civil unrest. And I like the direction that storyline is taking because, hey, yo, T. Austin, what's up? The story, I like this, the direction is taken because, one, we get to see more than just green Martians. We get to see green Martians. We get to see red Martians. We get to see white Martians. We get to see yellow Martians. And just like here in America, it's almost like there's a social class. You know what I mean? Like green Martians are better than yellow Martians. And, and so it seems like there's this infighting thing. And on Mars, they watch the Young Justice League members on TV on Mars, and they're like celebrities on Mars, which I think is kind of cool. It's like, okay, we always think, alien cultures are so far above us, and they don't give any airplay to anything other than what's going on their planet. So that was refreshing to see. And because Martians are hugely telepathic, when Superboy, and Beast Boy goes with them too. Yeah, you really should watch it. But it's a metaphor for race relations. And they utilize that concept well with Martians. And there's one social class here that believes they should be here. And then there's another social class that's down here and thinks they should be above both of those two. Meanwhile, you got, well, I don't want to give away too much of it. I just want to say, tune into it. If you didn't watch the first 3 seasons, season 4 is going to make you want to go back and watch at least the 3rd season so that you can get some kind of semblance of what's going on in season 4. Other than that, it's just good entertainment. And I hate to say it, Marvel, but DC makes way, 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 way better animated stuff than y'all. What If was cool, but y'all just right now, y'all are not holding a candle to DC and the animation department. Facts, period, point blank. And that's the way it is. But yeah, y'all should tune in and watch Young Justice. Quick question while I'm thinking about it. Real quick question. What does trending mean? I mean, in modern society, Okay. And this is just something I was thinking about the other day. Yes, Young Justice is a dope show. Yeah, Theo, go ahead. If you're gonna watch it, Theo, watch watch the whole thing. You know what? We gonna talk about that real quick. Tangent, Injustice. Woo! I was going to do a review on Injustice, on the Injustice movie. But I probably still will. Uh Let me just say this. Okay. For those of y'all that don't know, Injustice is a video game. And basically, it's what if Superman just said, F all of y'all. I'm getting ready to make this planet what I feel it needs to be. And everybody that want to roll with me as I do it can. Everybody that don't, I'm a heat vision you. But basically, we get to see the dark side of Superman, Wonder Woman, and a couple of other characters as they decide to say, we bring an order to the world, whether the world wants order or not. The game is 10 times more brutal. Um, the comic book is 100 times more brutal. Now, this animated movie, there were things about it I liked, and there were things about it I didn't like. Okay. Um, the one thing that I really didn't like about it was the ignoring slash omission of certain key characters. Okay, if you've read the Injustice comics or played the Injustice game, you know that people like the Flash and Green Lantern are integral to the Injustice story. They take the Lanterns, Flash, and Shazam off the table all together. We don't get to see nothing they do, nothing they don't do. They're taken out. And I'm not going to tell you about, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but off rip, you're not getting those characters. The other thing I didn't like about it is if you're going to do it, just go ahead and do it. Don't turn it into this animated version that goes off on a tangent where it's like, okay, the events that occur that make Superman go over the edge are kind of the same as they were in the comic book, but not quite. Okay. And there were villains involved. There were also villains involved because there were a lot of villains that got behind Superman and was like, yeah, we feeling you, Superman. We got your back. We roll with what you say. And one of the main ones that I was hoping to see was Sinestro. Nowhere to be found, you know? And there is because if you think about it, here, let's just think about it logically. If Superman and Wonder Woman team up, they already a whole problem for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Superman and Wonder Woman are pretty much smashing the majority of folks in the Justice League and on the planet Earth in general. In the comics, there was I guess it was kind of, I forget what it was, but I know it was like kind of like kryptonite based. It was a formula that they took that augmented their strength so that they could at least, go toe to toe with a Superman or a Wonder Woman. We ain't get that. So you could enjoy it with all of the changes and reimaginings, but it's not true Injustice there. Entertaining, if you ain't got no idea about what's going on with Injustice. Oh, if you've never played the video game or read any of the comics, you'll love that animated movie because you have no reference to what really was. And that, just like I said earlier about the Marvel movies, that becomes canon for you. So it's okay if you ain't never seen any Injustice before. But if you've been exposed to the Injustice universe, you're going to have this look on your face. Okay. Diesel in the building. What's happening, man? I was wondering, it ain't a party without you, bro. It ain't a party without you. Uncharted. I'll be honest with you, T. I was never really into Uncharted. I didn't get off into it. I seen it. I knew it was there. I knew it existed, but I wasn't rocking with Uncharted like that. It's Ray Smith. Welcome, sir. You in the building. What's happening? Okay, you know what, y'all? Now that I got y'all in here, I'm getting ready to go in, and we're gonna go ahead and go in like this. I just got done reading about the Truth social platform that is supposedly supposed to be rolled out via our man Donald Trump. Okay. First, how he gonna have a page, a social media site called Truth? Someone who is classically known for not telling the truth or telling us something that comes back later on and is discovered to not be the truth. Now, if you're pro-Trump, you're anti-Trump, I don't care. What happens is what happens. And if we're going to be talking about telling the truth, how you going to tell the truth? Tom Holland as Nathan Drake? Ew. Anyway, let me stay focused. This truth thing. Yeah, I agree, Ray. It should be called The Truth Ain't in Him. Yeah, I follow Bo from the Fifth Column, and I saw that video, but it had also been brought to my attention because I know people who are conservative and they with it. And one of the points that Bo brought up in his video that he did, no spoilers. Okay, no, I don't know what you're talking about spoiling. But one of the points he brought up was, how are you going to have a site called Truth when you don't respect the opinions of people who don't think like you do? I.e., if Truth is a conservative page, liberals can't come on there and be liberal, because if they get exposed as liberals, everybody gonna tear them apart. You know what I'm saying? When you have things like Black Lives Matter on regular social media and somebody comes on there and says all lives matter, don't we rip them a new one? Don't we rip them a new one? So I'm asking people who, because it's in beta right now, it's not out yet. Exactly, Theo. How are you kicking somebody? Well, wait a minute. I can't say how because Facebook is kind of getting like that. How can you kick somebody off of something for expressing their view? You know, and that goes to what I was asking, or I was getting ready to ask about stuff trending. What constitutes something trending? It's about how it's put out there, how it's discussed, how it's talked about. Because I can't tell you the myriad of sites and pages I have seen full of some of the most ignorant tomfoolery, and they got thousands of subscribers. I mean, there are pages and pages of stuff on YouTube that is just blatantly disrespectful to women. There are pages and pages of stuff that is just blatantly disrespectful to men. But you know what? It's called freedom of speech. If I want to hear it, if I want to see it, if I don't want to be exposed to it, I don't go to it. There's a gal, and I don't want to be giving her no free plugs, but I guess I can because I got something out of it. It's a gal out here on YouTube. She's called Roma Army. And you'll know her because she got like mad tats all up and around in here, and she just tatted out. Canadian gal. But she lobbies vigorously for men's rights. She calls out all of the BS that women do, like, okay, you pregnant and you hating on your baby's daddy for having another girlfriend. Flip that paradigm. If the woman didn't like her baby daddy and she decided she wanted to go somewhere else, would we be talking bad about that woman? Or will we be like, yeah, girl, he's a dog. We support you. We totally support you. You know, and that's the kind of stuff that's trending. How do we differentiate between freedom of speech and hate speech? You can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other. Yeah, I agree, Theo. Cardi B is an excellent example. Cardi B has come out as saying, yeah, I made men have sex with trans women. I drugged men and took their money. Can you imagine what would happen? What would happen to me? Let's just go with me because I don't want to put nobody else out there. If I made a video and said, yeah, I drug women and robbed them. Yeah, I made women have threesomes with me and they thought they was having a threesome with a woman until, oops. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that type of stuff. But we still live in a double standard world. You know what I mean? Where it's still like, okay, it's okay for women to do that, but if men do it, blah, 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 we're going to get you, blah, 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 we're going to get you. Back like in 2017, when that Me Too movement first came out and they was just bombing on penises everywhere. Did I just say penis? Yeah, they were bombing on them everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, if you ain't doing the right thing, you're doing the wrong thing. And the right thing is what we say you're supposed to do. How does that work? I would be R. Kelly's cellmate. At least I'd be the dominant one. Anyway, anywho, that is my thought process on that. I mean, because this is what's trending. Do we have an obligation? Excuse me. Do we have an obligation or responsibility to say or do the right thing? Or why do we not feel that we have an obligation to say or do the right thing? Because we live in a world that's very Aleister Crowley, if you will. I'm gonna let y'all look up Aleister Crowley. and find out what kind of person he was. If you watch Supernatural, you already know. Um, Do as thou will was one of his famous sayings. And I feel like a lot of people are incorporating that in their lives. It's just they want to do what they will. They want to say what they will. Uh they had their Me Too movement and it was cool, but when men started to go their own way movement, men got called weak. Well, I've been talking about that for a while, Theo. Simping. And I don't know how we got here, but okay, it is what it is. We live, it's Thursday, we talking. Um, Simping. When and I find that weird because women always say and ain't no women in here, women always say they want a good man. Or at least they used to. I don't know. I'm out of touch. I've been married for decades, so I don't. So I don't know what Do women still say they want good men? I know there's conversations about it, but then when they get a good man, at least some, I'm not gonna say all. When they get a good man, it's like, oh, he lets me do whatever I want to do. I'm not gonna respect him. But those same women, if they get done dirty, will say there ain't no good men on the earth and or all men are dogs. Now, I don't want to rehash this old chestnut over and over again, but suffice to say, from what I have observed, it looks like, yeah, I remember the Al Bundy's No Man movement. Al Bundy used to be one of my faves, but here's the thing: if we was to say some of the stuff that Al Bundy says today, come on now. Al Bundy was face shaming. Al Bundy was fat shaming. Al Bundy was skinny shaming. Al Bundy was shaming everything. And we would have saw, nowadays Al Bundy would get canceled. You know what I'm saying? That kind of a thing. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. When I was overseas in the military, sometimes you have to describe people as they are. And example I gave, I was over in Singapore, and we were talking to two guys, right? And both of these guys' name was Chan. 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 Everybody knew both Chans too, right? One Chan was small. The other Chan was overweight, fat, whatever you want to call it. And when people described them or addressed them, they addressed them as Fat Chan and Skinny Chan. Not a knock on Fat Chan, not a knock on Skinny Chan. But if Skinny Chan is skinny and Fat Chan is fat, and they both in the same room at the same time, and I want to address one of them, would I could use their last name, I could use their surnames, but what if I don't know that? And they just are introduced to me as Chan? Or I'd go up physically and touch them. We're too sensitive. We're way too sensitive in this day and age. We're sensitive about what's said to us. We're sensitive about what's not said to us. We're sensitive about what's in our eyesight. We're sensitive about what's not in our eyesight. We need to harden up. Well, I ain't gonna say we, because I know most of the people that that's rocking with me right now, I know y'all got pretty thick skin and reasonable sensibilities. So I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the folks out here who are always on that BS about, fat shaming and skinny shaming and this shaming. Here's my thing about shaming. If it's a shame, why do we call it out as that? People like, and I just use Lizzo as an example, crying on social media because people have come on her social media and said disparaging remarks about her. Girl, if you big, you big. And sometimes she owns it, and sometimes she acts like she wants to be upset about it. So what's the truth and what's not the truth? Usually the first reaction is the one that will elicit something. And I ain't got nothing against skinny people, and I ain't got nothing against fat people, but what's the PC way to say that? And should there even be a PC way to say it? If you're happy with being overweight, or I won't even say overweight, I'll say unhealthy, because there are big people who are healthy and there are little people who are not. So size isn't always the factor that delineates good or bad health. Why are we concerned about the overweightness? Why are we concerned about the underweightness? You know what I'm saying? Should it be about content of character? These you said you didn't know who Lizzo was until until folks started roasting her for acting a fool. There you go. And that's what makes people talk about her more than anything else, not her size. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nobody calling Adele fat when she was fat? Because she carried herself a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's what it's about. You've been called slow and short forever. I've even had females tell me I'm too short. I'm 5'9". Who could I go cry to and why? Who would care? Great questions, Theo. I've been called a lot of things in my time. And I think it's about, you know what? Y'all can't see it, but I got a poster over here of Bruce Lee. And it says, defeat is a state of mind. No one is defeated until defeat has been accepted as a reality. To me, defeat is in anything is merely temporary, and its punishment is but an urge for me to exert greater effort to achieve my goal. Defeat simply tells me that something is wrong in my doing. you gonna do a vid tonight on it, Theo? I'm there for that. I can't wait to see you. Be ready. Have your shield up, because the fiery darts are coming, sir. A lot of big girls are multi-talented. Lizzo ain't one of them. I'm gonna go ahead and disagree right there. I saw Miss Lizzo on, I forget what award show it was, but she jumped out and she was performing and she was doing one of her songs and she was dancing and she was keeping up with the little girls, and she jumped out and started playing a flute. I'm not going to question the child's talent, but I do question some of her personal decisions and her rationale on having the nerve to be on social media crying about how people talk about her and she's acting her ass. Say the roasting is finna begin. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, y'all know what? I don't know if whoever been here for the rip, but I just want to pull this out real quick. Last week, matter of fact, exactly last week was my birthday. Okay. And this is one of the presents I got. This This is supposed to be me, y'all. This is supposed to be me. That 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 don't look like me. This is what happens when you get stuff from China. I didn't get this, but I know it's from China because only Chinese people who manufacture things like this can look at a picture of me and get this. But happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. See, these are laughing. And it's not a knock on the person who got the present. My wife did have no idea, you know what I'm saying, that it was gonna look like that when she got it. So it's not a knock on her. It's just, you know, crappy manufacturing. Really? Really, y'all? I mean, I like it, you know, but we gonna call it T'Chaka. How about that? Because it looks more like T'Chaka than it does me. So when I get my shells up here and I get them up, this will be one of the things y'all see up on the shelves. Oh, don't you worry. I'm not going to order. If I get another one, I'm sure not going to order it from them because clearly they cannot look at a picture and interpolate the information from a picture. Mighty Door Bubble. Okay. Okie dokie. You know what, y'all? This is, whoa. There you go. Bam. Okay. Those are some talented big girls, these Diesel. And Jill and Angie ain't as big as they used to be. Nice bubble head, Terrell? Nah. Yeah, nice bubble head for a bubble head. But if it's a nice bubble head that was supposed to be a likeness of yours truly, nah. Not so much, y'all. Not so much. We are at the 45. Well, actually, no. No, it won't. I'll look at it and see, but no, because I've got a picture, and then like on the video when my videos come on and a little introduction, and it has a bit that looks more like me than this, you know, and then I've got a picture that's based on that looks more like me than this. It's just poor representation is all. You know, but it was a birthday present. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So you laughing and thinking and laughing. Well, y'all keep on laughing and keep on thinking. It's been 45 minutes to show y'all, and usually that's about all I do. We talked about the delays with Marvel. Surprise, surprise. Nobody surprised there in summary. We talked about Young Justice. I recommend y'all watch season 4. It's turning out to be pretty good so far. And Donald Trump's Truth social media page is in beta and it's already having all kind of problems. I expect that to go the direction of all or most of Trump's business ventures because if the rationale is if he can be a boss on The Apprentice, then he can have his own social media page. He need to fire his PR people. But as we know, he's real good at doing that, isn't he? All right, y'all. This been live for Be Real with D Real on live Thursdays. I thank y'all, Theo, wife, D Diesel, T Austin, Ray Smith, Raheem. I thank all of y'all for rocking with me today, and I hope that y'all come back every Thursday because I have some new stuff to talk and chop it up about. I'm about to get out of here because I got things to do. Peace. I'll be back with another one. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.